Monday. How you feeling?
Oh, good. All right. So this is our live show for Tuesday, January 3rd. Is Jeff online with us?
I am.
Yes. Okay.
Big
We're
man.
joining Jeff from Big Man on Campus. We've got NBA, college basketball, and the opening lines are obviously out for the NFL playoffs.
Pete, hold on just a second. I gotta say hello to my buddy. Happy New Year's to you, big man. How's everything?
You too, fellas. Welcome back. It's 2017. Let's get this money this year.
Damn right. That's what I'm talking about. All right, let's go. What are you thinking about?
I don't know, Jeff. What do you want to talk about? College basketball? What college basketball? You've been doing well in our shows. What college basketball players would you recommend?
Woo.
Yeah, I got two tonight, guys. I'm going to go one with Ole Miss plus the 13 against Florida. I had to play on Florida last week, but I'm going to go against them here. I like what I've seen out of Ole Miss recently. They've also covered on the road, covered 19 of 26. They covered 3 of 4 against Florida. They played well against this Gator team. Thing with Ole Miss, can score a whole lot. Not the greatest defensive team, actually, but, look, I think they're going to hang in this game. They grab a lot of rebounds, almost 14 offensive rebounds a game. I think they're going to have a lot of second-chance opportunities, be able to control the glass. I just don't see them getting blown out here. I think this stays within 10. I think at the end of the day, I just don't really trust Florida right now to cover a number like this against the SEC. They've only covered 4 out of the last 13 against SEC opponents. I like the way Ole Miss can score the basketball. They rebound. I think they hang here, and I think they at least stay within 10.
That was actually one play that I took on the overnight.
I figured you would too when I saw that
14 and a half. Yeah, and I thought the same thing. I was just looking at it and kind of was analyzing is Florida. They're obviously
Florida just doesn't have that transition offense that can run to separate themselves with that good defense to cover a line like that. That's what I think, especially when you step into SEC. Again, I could see this thing 8, 9, 10 at the most. That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, it is kind of concerning just because of the line. I mean, it kind of looks too good to be true. Ole Miss kind of looks too easy here, but
no, I don't think it looks too good to be true. I mean, it makes sense to me. The line, I thought, obviously Florida's going to be. I mean, they've gotten some big margin wins recently, so the line actually does make sense to me, which is a good sign. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Well,
one game I wanted to ask both of you about Kansas State and Kansas. All right, what do you think? Because Kansas sometimes struggles to cover ATS numbers, especially in-state rival. Kansas State, I think 12-1. All right, is it the strength of schedule that's separating this team? What's going on, and what are your thoughts?
Well, and you're right about that, Mike. I mean, they do struggle to cover. I mean, they're 6-0 straight up at home, but 1-3 against the spread. They're off a game against TCU where they should have covered, and they didn't cover. And that's kind of the issue. Look, I'm never one to bet against them in Fog Allen. I don't know how good Kansas State really is, but I don't know. That's a tough one for me. If this was in Kansas State, obviously I'd look to back the underdog, but not a Fog Allen. I would probably lean Kansas here.
Yeah.
Do you have any opinion on Arkansas, Tennessee? That's interesting because obviously, Arkansas when they played Florida was a big game of debate between us. I believe you and Mike Brenner went head to head.
You guys were right. I should have listened to both of you.
Yeah, I was off that game just because I was watching and waiting. And this
Arkansas
one
was never even in it. They never even made a serious run to even get close. I promise you. So I learned a lot about that team.
Yeah. So what do you think? This kind of feels the same way. Could easily see it going either way. You have anything to say about this one, big man?
Yeah, I'm again on Arkansas here. I mean, Peter, Tennessee 9-24 as a favorite over their last 33. That's just not good enough. I'm not interested in a favorite role as an underdog. Getting 8.5, 10, 11 points. Yeah, okay, but not as a favorite. I think Arkansas is the better team. I think off the loss against Florida, they're going to come out here and play well. Maybe get on the road, get out of Oxford or get out of Fayetteville, wherever they are. I'm not really that sold on Tennessee. As an underdog, yeah, not as a favorite.
I was also I have a slight lean on a total. I like just a little bit standard play under 143.5 in Ball State, Kent State. That would be my totals play of the day in college basketball. And
I mean, the only two plays I have are going to be Ole Miss plus the 13, and I actually like Wisconsin on the road against Indiana. I'm not particularly happy with what's going on with Indiana right now. They're not playing particularly well. Wisconsin's been efficient all year, not only on offense but on defense. They've won 8 in a row, and the road team's covered 8 of 11 in this matchup. I think they go on the road and get the job done tonight. Whoever we get in points in this game, I would take. I think it's going to be a great game, but I think Wisconsin's just a tick better than Indiana.
Indiana's missing that leadership from Yogi.
Yeah, no, they are. They don't have great. Their guards haven't been as great as they have been in the last couple of years.
I've got one play today, guys, and I want to just throw it out there for both of you. And I've been doing pretty sharp on these first halves, besides a few. Kentucky's going to blow the daylights out of Texas A&M early and often at home. Why that line dropped a half point, don't know, but it does not concern me. I think you throw the stats, the analytics, everything out the window here. It's a Calipari ego night, and Texas A&M is just not a good team. I mean, I'm not kidding. I think the four of us and big man could be running the point guard. I think we could keep it close against that team. Of course, I'm exaggerating here, but Kentucky first half, I think it's got everything written all over it.
Yeah. Well, who was that team they played recently that I was on? What? Big man, you there?
Yeah, I didn't even say anything. Sorry.
I thought I lost his volume.
Who was that team that Texas A&M recently played that I gave a pick on? They were playing. I can't remember.
They had a poor outing against Arizona recently. They really been disheartening Texas A&M this year. I thought they'd be a lot better than they are. It really should.
Your thoughts on my first half call, because this is Kentucky, guys. They had after that loss to Louisville, they came out and looked, and now I think they would pound Louisville if they faced them again.
Yeah, I mean, Kentucky's. I mean, they speak for themselves offensively. I mean, 95 points a game at home. And Texas A&M, like I said, they've been really lax all year. They haven't been great offensively either. They could get hammered quickly.
Well, Calipari had a private meeting after that loss to Louisville, and he laid into that frickin' team. Well,
you know what? Like they're freshmen at the end of the day. It's going to take some time. It's going to be. You got to keep them eye on the prize every game, because at 18 years old, it's tough to, because a lot of them kids aren't playing after this year. So, there's
no doubt. And what I liked about it was he had that meeting, and this comes off of weeks 3 and 4 when they were just getting started 3-4 games in. Remember, Pete, I told you, he said, I like the mindset of these young kids. All right. They're intelligent. They're not selfish. And that is teachable. So when he went off on them, I don't think it was in a negative way. I just think he wanted to really implement into them that you are better than that team. Even though you're freshmen, you're freaking seniors.
Yeah, I had Kentucky in that game. I didn't think Louisville was on the same level. It's tough to go into Louisville and win, though. But with Kentucky, you have to ride the streaks. You're going to lose a little bit of money with them once in a while, but they're just too good to not back on a consistent basis. So
yeah, and then Louisville next game after that one, I forget who it was they played, but they looked absolutely pitiful, and lost like they got blown out. We're never even in it. So there's a coaching thing too. Is Pitino losing his grip on being able to pump that team up for every single day?
Yeah, and I don't know that offensively they're not that good. They had their head on defense, and they just had the energy in that game, and that Kentucky game. It was back and forth. They really could have lost. Kentucky played great. It was just they made a couple. I think Kentucky missed 10 free throws in that game. So
yeah. Calipari stepped on. He touched on that as well. And
they played Virginia in that game that they lost. But Virginia's good though. Virginia's
arguably the best defense team in the country. Peter, I got to ask you about one other total. I'm not sure if you looked at it, but I feel like it's just a little too low. I want to take the under that UCF East Carolina game. UCF's been downright.
Total's low, Shaq, baby. You're going to get fired up.
UCF East Carolina.
UCF's been downright.
No, I didn't have time. I didn't have time to look at that one. Okay. Didn't get to it yet. Hopefully, in a few hours, I'll be able to get to it. But no, didn't have time to look at it. My only totals play that I was able to look at and kind of like is again that Ball State Kent State 143.5 under. Okay. That's about it as of what I was able to look at.
Yeah, I just got Ole Miss in Wisconsin +1.
That's some questions.
I got some questions for you guys from our live viewers. First off, Juan would like to know how we feel about UNC -3 tonight against Clemson.
Ooh, yeah, I'm on that one. That's my opinion.
Well, it's not 3 anymore. It's 4.5 or 5. So there you go.
Yeah. At 3, I like it. At 5, I don't like it.
Now it's
still 4.5.
UNC's at home, and also there's another team underachieving. But then again, I'm not a Williams fan. I think that's why they underachieve. So
they're off a loss, though. Keep that in mind. Georgia Tech beat them.
I'm thinking first half might be the edge. You're coming off a loss. You've got Clemson coming in. You know it's going to be a tight battle. They got some big men underneath, but you got to, yeah, I'm liking that first half. And
schematically, they're not very good around the rim. We know UNC is. I actually think they go in and they win. I like the 3 number a whole lot better than 4.5.
Yeah, no doubt.
Obviously.
And cheers and shouts out to Juan White. Happy New Year to you and your family. He's been one of the most loyal and just absolutely faithful followers that we have.
He's a very loyal guy. I talk to him quite frequently as well. He's a good guy.
And that is great. Shout out to all these followers. And I wish these guys would give us more questions.
Well, I got a bunch written down here. So we Celtics tonight going against the Jazz. I know we're switching gears a little bit, but
Jazz
anything?
really stepped up in the fourth quarter of the last game, and I'm telling you, Celtics. And I don't know. I'm on not fade mode, but I'm definitely not backing that team right now.
Tempting to take the under. I have to think about it a little bit more, but it's tempting to take the under. Obviously, Utah plays very low scoring. That was one that, there was an overnight line. I looked at that one, and I had to lean to the under 201, and now it's down to 200 or 200.5. So, I would lean to the under.
Okay. West Virginia.
Yes, I love it. You give me Bobby Huggins pissed off. Big man, I'm a big Bob Huggins fan. And I don't know why, but I just love this guy. I think this team sometimes is undervalued, and I think they're better than it shows. What do you think? Is this guy going to have his team ready to go?
I love Bob Huggins as well, Mike. Great point. Yeah, look, I mean, West Virginia's covered 4 or 5 on the road. I'll tell you what, though, Texas Tech, man, they play really
scrappy. They're scrappy.
They play real good defense. They're good at home. I'll tell you what, I faded them Friday night. They went up big and then blew the lead, and I had Iowa State in that game. But yeah, I'm not willing to fade West Virginia right now. That's a tough one, though. If that gets up to 5 or 6, which I see it's at 5 at some books, I got to tell you, I'm actually kind of considering the underdog in this game for some reason.
Yeah, no, you know what? There's one thing Texas Tech never lost after Bobby Knight, ended up leaving there, and that was that scrappy, grinded out. And I'm not kidding you. It just kept continuing on, and you're exactly right. That worries me. Yeah.
Another thing about them, there are a lot of seniors on that team. They've seen the press before. They've seen, and if West Virginia can't cause turnovers, they're not as effective. And I think West Virginia, Texas Tech has the seniors and kind of the leadership to maybe make that one interesting. They haven't lost at home, but I wonder about how good they are. They haven't really beaten a lot of valid teams.
Exactly. That's the only thing that concerns me, but I'm still going to back. I'm backing Huggins. I just think he's going to have his crew ready.
No, I think Texas Tech, they haven't beaten anyone. You look at their record, they have 11 wins, but I mean, Peter, most of their wins are against top RPI 200 or worse. So I'm not sure about their validity right now, Texas Tech.
Yep.
West Virginia has 2 strong wins on the road. They beat Virginia outright as a big underdog. Yeah. So that shows what they can do against grinded out teams.
You don't
Big coaching edge.
Bakery here in Costa Rica. I got to tell you about that one later, Pete.
All right, we got one more college basketball. Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio.
Yeah, question mark.
Ohio, I'm not defensive.
All right, that's fine.
Don't say anything at all.
No problem. One last question. Moving on, switching gears again. National championship game. We get a few questions on that. How do we feel?
Well, I felt it a while back. I even predicted that these guys would meet again, and then Pete was even thinking, you know what, this could happen. There's no doubt about it. And I love it. It's, and I really think what helps Alabama, big man, call me crazy if you think, but I think that Kiffin drama, imagine that, Lane Kiffin drama again as he exits.
I meant to ask you about that.
I think that now takes Saban another step higher and says, I want to win this fucking thing so bad, just to rub it in this little kid's face who will never coach at a major school ever again because of this last debacle. I love Sweeney. And guess what? The Heisman Trophy Award winner that should have been is playing in this game. His name's Deshaun Watson. Lamar Jackson is such a joke. That guy didn't even deserve to be considered in the top 25. He was revealed in their bowl game. That kid, if he attempts to go to the NFL, he'll never make it past training camp. Lamar Jackson is a high school type of player. I'm telling you, Deshaun Watson runs circles around that kid. I got off subject because I'm pissed off.
Mike, come on.
He looked terrible in that last game. He didn't do anything right.
But he had a great season, Mike, unfortunately. Look, it's one game, Mike. I mean, at the end of the day.
You cannot tell me he's a better quarterback than
Mike, come on. I don't think he's a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson, but, Lamar Jackson's great. I mean, you can't knock what he did all year. And look, Mike, no offense, but Lane Kiffin I thought was good all year. I mean, no offense.
Oh, no, he was great. Lane Kiffin was great.
But I don't know how you just get rid of him before the national championship game a week beforehand. And you replace him with a drunk who
has – no doubt. There's no doubt. Steve Sarkisian comes in. But here's the thing. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes shit that went down that nobody really knows about. And Kiffin, he is just Kiffin. He does what he does. But it's not a bad thing. You're talking about the best coach in my eyes that's ever walked the sideline. I'm sorry, all the other big ones, Lombardi, all that. You guys couldn't hold this guy's jockstrap. Nick Saban will find a way. They're going to cover this fucking game. They're going to beat this team. And they are a powerhouse. Dabo Sweeney's just happy they got back there. I'm telling you. his thirst is quenched. The only thing that scares me about all of it is Deshaun Watson. This kid gained 25 pounds of muscle since the last time they squared off. That's the only thing that does scare me. But I still think Saban wants to do this just to say, hey, Kiffin, go to wherever the hell you're going to coach where no one will ever see you on TV. And look what you missed out on.
Florida Atlantic, right? Look, Mike, I got to say early on, I'm on the other side. I think Clemson is a live dog here. I think they're a very good football team. Mike, they shut Ohio State down. Ohio State can score a point.
No, I love this. This is a great matchup, big man. Absolutely.
Revenge, Mike, last year. Remember what happened last year? Listen, I think Alabama's vulnerable in the secondary. I'm sorry. I do. I think against a good passing offense, they're a little vulnerable in the back end. But it's going to be a great game. I can't wait for it. Listen, I think that Sarkisian stuff's going to hurt them a little bit more. Do we really trust him just yet? I mean, the guy hasn't done a lot in the last year. He's, off some personal problems.
No doubt.
Listen, I don't feel like, why get rid of Kiffin? Keep him around one more game. I mean, really. I mean, it's only going to hurt your team, I feel like. But listen, I'm going to go with the underdog, honestly. But, Mike, I know you like Alabama. You've been having a good read on them, so.
I can't wait till you get to Costa Rica, buddy. For real.
Hey, listen, I'm going to be there. Peter, Peter, I have to ask. I have to have Peter at least come out.
How good that hair and that hair. How do you keep that style?
That hair. Listen, I'm big on my hair. Maybe not right now, but Peter, your hair is fantastic. I have to say.
Thanks for
out of this conversation. Look, I got a new song. It's called "Yo No Tango Pelo." I don't have any fucking hair.
No hair.
I put no effort into it, so whatever it is, that's how you do it.
Beautiful New York Yankees hat, though.
Yeah, I like that hat. Sure.
Hey guys, I need your thoughts on something. I got news for you. I'm really thinking that I think Pittsburgh could cover a 10-point. The Miami team I saw, again, you went against the best quarterback. I mean, this guy was on a mission, but I think Pittsburgh in that weather, they're liable to cover that big number. 10's a huge number. Is it still at 10?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that, big man?
Yeah, listen, I'm not one to fade the Steelers in the playoffs. I mean, listen, can I just say real quick one thing? Terry Bradshaw needs to shut his mouth. I mean, talking about Mike Tomlin. I mean, is he aware of what Mike Tomlin's done at Pittsburgh? I mean, really? This guy's a great coach. He's a great playoff coach. Miami with Matt Moore. I'm good. A Miami team that scores 20 points a game on the road. Listen, I think the Steelers, this is where their time to shine comes. I could see this one as like 34-21. I could see them covering here. I'm not looking to back Miami. I'm not looking to back much in the AFC, to be honest.
I don't think Miami's going to get more than 10 points in this ball game.
What a pathetic game. The Raiders-Texans. You got Connor Cook against Brock Osweiler.
Who gives a shit game? Because whoever wins that one, which will be Houston, I think they're done the next week. Whoever wins that one's done the next week. I agree.
Yeah.
One question quick. Cap and wild card games in general, any differences? Or you just go matchup to matchup just like you normally do?
No, it's really
just week 6, 17.
Yeah, it's actually for me. I like this week. This week for me, it stands out. In my stats in my past, I'm well there. I'm sure Big Man and Pete have a say on this time of year as well.
Yeah, I mean, in general, there tends to like there's usually one or two games that I'm liking a lot this year. Not yet, but maybe something will prop up. The only game pick I've given, which I don't really like anymore, is the under in Miami Pittsburgh. But
what's that number at?
47. So. Okay. Usually there's one or two games that jump out, but this year not really to me. Actually,
hey, I'm liking Detroit getting points against Seattle team. Hasn't scared anybody a minute. And when Pete Carroll says there's just something not there, there's something missing with this team going into the playoffs, unlike any year past. So when you got the main man quandering and scratching that head, and Russell Wilson having to scramble, they got no receivers that are threats. Their defense now has become just a vulnerable defense. With Earl Thomas, I think, and whoever they lost again. I think this team's in for a little bit of I could see Detroit actually getting an outright win. Call me crazy, but if Stafford can overcome that noise, I think this team's got a shot.
Yeah, actually, I would agree with that. That's something I would be leaning towards as well. Detroit getting 8. Yeah,
Big man.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Seattle's looked lost at times. Lately. I mean, you look at Green. I mean, they got absolutely crushed against Green Bay. And again, Mike, I think you make a good point about Earl Thomas. I mean, he's the backbone of that defense. You got Richard Sherman arguing with reporters all of a sudden every week. I'm not scared of them on offense. And Detroit has played close games all year. I mean, can you find a blood on that schedule? I can't.
Exactly.
No way.
Another week with his finger.
I do like the Packers at home.
Baby.
I'm very high on that. I don't think the Giants are very good, to be honest. I think they're luckily in a pretty this NFL this year is pretty top heavy. I mean, a lot of mediocre and bad teams. You look at they just can't score. I like Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers playing really good football right now.
Well, not just that. He said, "Hey, we got to run the board and run," and and they did. And then not just that. This is a momentum snowball that's rolling right into Lambeau Field, as Boom Boom Berman would say, "The frozen tundra, baby." I'm telling you, Eli will be walking out with that look again, and Peyton will be able to go, "Thank God my brother's not going to get number 3." So absolutely, Packers will not be stopped. I think they're going to pound this team early and often, double-digit win. That's my thoughts.
Agreed.
I'm fired up.
You are today. I like it.
That's a new bakery, too. There's a new bakery.
It's a new year.
It's a new year. There goes our leader and fearless leader. See you later. You guys out the door.
All right. We got no more questions, guys.
All right.
I do want to hear from you, too. What do you guys got coming up this week? What are you filming? What are you big shows? I know you got Puckheads filming in a little bit.
Puckheads I'm filming here in a minute, but we're going to be doing some more coverage. Hopefully we get back with Big Man on college basketball. Big Man's been on.
We got him a lot this week, actually. We're going to be seeing a lot of Big Man.
Yeah, and also we're going to be doing some more stuff on the bowl coverage. So see what happens. And continuing the radio show from what I hear. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
You got a big card in college basketball tomorrow. So.
That's what?
You got a big card in college basketball tomorrow. So.
Oh,
yes. We will be having you on, I believe, correct?
Yeah, you're on with us tomorrow, right?
Yes, I believe so, yeah.
Fantastic. We look forward to that.
Yes, we do.
All right, guys, I got to head out and do the hockey show. I'm sure we're going to get some good tips there. I got lucky, went 2-0 my last hockey show.
Get on Scott Carter. That's funny stuff there.
yeah, I like him. He's a good guy. And then we got
He's a funny guy. He's a good guy, though. I like him.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, I'm hearing there's some serious momentum picking up. Oakland Raiders moving to Vegas.
Yes. I need your best bets today, too, guys. Best
bet, Kentucky, first half. Jump on it. Don't miss it. But please tune into the Odds Couple show for college hoops later on. We're going to be filming it soon.
I guess I would say under 143.5, Ball State, Kent State.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm on Ole Miss plus 13 and Wisconsin plus 1.
Fantastic, buddy.
All right, fellas, again, thank you as always, every day. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow.
Right. And Big Man, thank you for taking time out for us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, fellas.
Tomorrow in the studio,
Sounds
buddy.
good. Appreciate it, guys.
Okay.